point deduction. And this is MAGHSOUDI. He was at the World Militaries at the end of September. Quarterfinals there. Quarterfinals at the end of May at the Asian Championships. And boxed at the World Championships in Russia a couple of years ago. This is Sangmin, and he was at those World Militaries also. He also got to the quarterfinals. Boxing at the World Championships back in 2013 in Almaty in Kazakhstan. That was the first tournament where the rule changes had come in, where the head guards came off and we changed from computer point scoring to the 10-point must. That has been in operation since. At that point it was the head guards coming off that really attracted the attention, but the change to the 10-point must I think was very, very significant, because since then we've just seen a different style of international amateur boxing, a more entertaining style of boxing to watch, quite simply.
Round 2.
So MAGHSOUDI of Iran in the red, Lee, South Korea in the blue. He's an awkward kind of a fighter, Sangmin Lee, or at least he was in his opening encounter. He was up against a tricky sort of southpaw in Perez. I think he found it difficult stylistically. MAGHSOUDI looks like the kind of fighter who isn't going to use the jab too much, but is just going to try and move that head on the way in, keep a tight guard, keep that head on the move, walk his opponent down, throw his punches from that kind of mid-range or up close. And Sangmin Lee taking the outside of the ring. He's going to need that jab to try and stop him from doing it. 1-2 there from Sangmin Lee, but then just opens out, gets caught a bit square, and MAGHSOUDI managed to hit him with a 1-2 as he was on his way in. Good jab from MAGHSOUDI. I'd said earlier on that I didn't expect to see him try and jab his way in much, but he did there. He's cutting off the ring fairly effectively as well. Lee just holding his feet a bit there. You're going to have to do that every now and again. Try and get the respect of MAGHSOUDI. Stop him just walking him down. Led off with a big left hook there, the Iranian. Didn't land, didn't even nearly land really. Lee just stepped off to his right-hand side, saw that coming from a long way back. Nice right hand off the back foot there from Lee. Tight opening round. They've both had their successes. Again, just fencing with the jab there, Lee. Right hand got through from MAGHSOUDI, but I think he managed to ride it fairly effectively there, Lee, although it did land. Jab landed there again. MAGHSOUDI's been on the front foot here. And he's landed enough, I think, to take this opening round. The punches he's landed, combined with the fact that he's been the aggressor, may well translate to his round win. Lee, though, has had a fair amount of success himself, actually. He's landed quite a lot. None of it's been heavy. MAGHSOUDI with the right hand cocked there. He was absolutely dying to throw it. Eventually did. Well, that was tight, that opening round. I would go with the red corner. I think what he did land was a bit cleaner, a bit heavier. and he was on that front foot, but Sangmin Lee, like I said, circling around, he landed that jab quite a bit. Split scoring. 3 judges going for Maghsoudi, 2 going for Sangmin Lee, so that kind of echoes what I was saying there, really. There wasn't a lot to choose between the 2 of them. You just got to try and make that decision, really, as to who you feel has landed the greater, well, tonnage of punches. Good right hand off the back foot there from Sangmin Lee, sinking into the ropes, timed it well. So into the second round, he offers a glove there, Lee, and it's accepted by Maghsoudi. Doesn't have to be. Offering a glove at the start of a round is a dangerous thing to do. The other fighter can ignore it and just step straight on you if they want to. Maghsoudi trying to get on top of Sangmin Lee early in this second round, as he did in the first. He's actually got a pretty decent jab, Maghsoudi, when he chooses to use it. He doesn't choose to use it all that often. Is there a bit of damage around the right eye there? I'm not quite sure. It just looked to me like there might have been a faint trace of blood coming from that right eye. Maybe not, possibly my eyes deceive me. No real room to work there for Maghsoudi. Jumping across the ring almost there at Sangmin Lee. Lee just re-establishes that distance. Looks for the uppercut there as Maghsoudi closed in. Wasn't far away with it. Maghsoudi with a left hand. He knew that Lee was going to skirt across the ropes away to his left and stepped across, tried to shut the door. A bit messy this second round. Maghsoudi's trying to up the tempo here, but if anything, he's kind of smothering his own work. He's a little bit over-eager. Left hand there from him, though. Again, it wasn't super clean or aesthetically all that pleasing, but I think it did land. Left hand got through there from Lee, kind of reverse 1-2, led with the right, then poked through with the left. He was slightly off balance, but it worked. Good finish from either one of these two. Could see them take the round again. Maghsoudi's been on the front foot, but I don't think he's actually been as effective in the second round as he was in the first. He's looked more aggressive, but in terms of what he's landed, I'm not sure it's really translated. 1-2 there from Maghsoudi. Just before that, Lee had managed to land a jab. Left hand there from Maghsoudi, climbed into that one. He's thrown a few of those, right hand on the inside, that I don't think have actually landed all that clean, but for the judges at ringside, they might look as though they have, because you see the head snap back a little bit, and if you're not right in line with it, then it would be hard to tell. I think he'll get that one, the Iranian fighter, on aggression, really. On balance, he probably did outland Sangmin Lee as well. Well, all 5 judges go for Maghsoudi, and he has got a 2-point margin with 3 of the judges now. The other 2 cards, 19 apiece. So he is in control here. Sangmin Lee is in the territory now where he needs 10-8, or a point deduction against Maghsoudi. That could work for him as well, but there's no real sign of either one of those 2 eventualities occurring, to be honest. The 10-8 doesn't seem likely, and Maghsoudi's not really been warned with any vehemence by the referee about anything so far in the fight. Again, just dipping the knees as he comes forward there, Maghsoudi, and increasingly He's not even really trying or pretending to move that head on the way in. He knows that Lee can't really hurt him. And he's happy enough, I think, at this point, just to walk through him. Left hand there from Maghsoudi. He does dip the knees and just drop his height as he comes forward, Maghsoudi. There's not really any lateral movement. Doesn't often go side to side. Does a little bit there, just as I say it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed to the bout number 173 in the ring A in a man's welterweight division. Ringside judges from Thailand, India, Ireland, Ukraine, and Morocco. Referee Christy Rosario, United States of America. Coming to the ring first, fighting out on the red corner, the boxer representing Palestine. Please welcome AMIRI.
Midway stage of round 3. Maghsoudi almost throwing himself off his feet there as he looks to try and land the left hand. Sangmin Lee, meanwhile, went for a little walk.
Please welcome in the blue corner of the ring, the boxer
off to the right hand side. And he's just been out-muscled here, really, Sangmin Lee. Increasingly so as the fight has gone on. Good combination there from Maghsoudi. Did a reasonable job of staying away from Maghsoudi, or keeping him off would be a better way of describing it in the first round, Sangmin Lee. That was a tight round, difficult round to score. Falling in there, Sangmin Lee, the balance completely went, just stumbled forward and got clipped by a right hand. Since then, Maghsoudi's just worn him down, really, is what's happened. Good jab there from Maghsoudi. When he flicks that up, he's quite effective with it. Maybe he would use that more against a different fighter, but I think he knew from an early stage here that Sangmin Lee couldn't hurt him. Is there a bit of damage to the eye there? I think there is, just around the left eye. Nothing major. I think it's more of a scratch and abrasion rather than a cut. 20 seconds remaining. It's not going to have any bearing on the fight. Well, it's just up in the hairline, actually. It's nothing. It's nothing, thankfully.
Ring A, round 1.
2 scores level heading into this final round. The other 3 in favour of Maghsoudi by a 2-point margin. There goes the bell, so he will be going through to the next stage. Where he'll face the winner of our next fight, which is between Lacha Garuli of Georgia and Michal Takac of Slovakia. So through he goes. Won that final round with all 5 judges, so 3 scores of 3 rounds to 0, 2 other cards of 2 rounds to 1.